Hello friends, hope you're well. Welcome to today's special edition of the Dirt Report, the show all about tech and telco news from all around Australia. It is a double episode this week. If you missed the previous one, I have put that link below, all about our dear old NBN not being able to, not being ready for people like yourself to work from home. Now, some housekeeping. If you are new to this channel, I hope you enjoyed today's video and potentially consider subscribing or even tapping that like button. It really does help in the long run. Hopefully a short and sharp video today. So in today's episode, we have Netflix and other streaming services throttling their quality. Telstra says no more job cuts for 6 months. NBN is valued, and relief data for NBN wireless customers. So let's start off with the first topic. The Australian government has requested that streaming services find a way to reduce their bandwidth. As you may know, nearly 30% of network traffic around the world is Netflix and some other providers. Putting them together, it jumps even higher. As the biggest streaming service with over 167 million subscribers, Netflix has been singled out to reduce their footprint on our poor little NBN. They have already reduced their usage by 25% in Europe by reducing the quality, which kinda sucks. Even YouTube has jumped on the bandwagon and defaulting all videos to stream at 480p, which is pretty much the same quality we used to get on Tube's TV, which is kind of like YouTube anyway. That's how they started. So you can still manually increase it if you wish. The question is how many will even notice, especially on small devices. The decrease in bandwidth should ease some of the congestion created with having more and more people work from home or just being at home. This is a very unprecedented situation that will push a lot of our network systems to the brink. NBN Co has already given RSPs the ability to increase their CVC usage by 40% without paying. The 40% amount has come from statistics out of Italy on how their current usage has stacked with millions of people at home. I'm impressed that NBN Co is taking notes, adapting and learning. It's as good time as any to start. They also said that data traffic on the network has jumped nearly 5% in recent days, but they are not experiencing any congestion. It would be quite interesting if at the end of all this, the NBN coped quite well. In fact, I hope so, because let's be real, at the end of the day, if you're working from home, for many it means emails and web. Nothing really more than that. Let me know below if you're already working from home and you're pushing your internet to the limits. I'd like to know what you do and how you do it. Finally, Telstra CEO Andy Penn said that additional strains on the network is an issue, but we are working together with the industry and with NBN to increase capacity and try to mitigate the impact. So on that note, let's talk about Telstra. With Qantas suspending 20,000 employees, we look to other large employers on what they will do. Now, with telcos, it's a bit of a different story. They will in fact need technicians and the like to cope with the increased demand on their network. So many don't really expect to see any job cuts, and for now, they're right. Andy Penn has announced that there will be no job cuts for the next 6 months, and that's really a good thing. That will hopefully get many people through this tough time, though to note, I suppose the question is, what will happen in the next 6 months after that, once the epidemic blows over? Will that mean that to make up their profits, they will cut jobs? Well, we can only speculate, and that would be the worst case scenario. You see, back in 2018, Telstra said that by 2022, they will have cut over 8,000 contracts and jobs, streamlining their business to cope with automation and competition, and of course, moving all their call centers overseas. Here are the measures that Telstra announced. Putting on hold any further job reductions. While Telstra will continue to focus on its productivity program to reduce underlying fixed costs by $2.5 billion annually by the end of 2022, it will not announce any further job reductions over the next 6 months. So it's just an announcement, right? Furthermore, recruitment of an additional 1,000 temporary contractors in Australia to help manage call center volumes. Good stuff. Bringing forward $500 million of capex from the second half of 2021 into the calendar year 2020, this capital will be deployed to increase capacity in the network, including further acceleration of the rollout of 5G and injecting much needed investment into the economy at this very needed time. Providing relief to small businesses and consumer customers unable to pay their bills by suspending late payment fees and disconnections until at least the end of April, at which point there will be a further review, obviously depending on what happens with this pandemic. Extending any sponsorship expiring this year for another 12 months, providing more certainty to partners and many causes Telstra supports. That to me is probably the biggest plus Thank you very much, Telstra. That's great. They support a lot of communities, a lot of sports teams, and a lot of charities. The main thing right now is to continue with investment or start new projects earlier. The more we can pump into the economy now, the more hope for a lighter recessions we have. Nonetheless, it will happen, but mitigating how badly it affects everyone is directly linked to initiatives like this by the big players in Australia in all industries. Now, one player whose size of the industry has wavered in the last few years is NBN Co. In a report downloadable from the Parliament of Australia site, links below, NBN Co has been valued at $8.7 billion. Now, I warn you, the document is stupid long and gives a lot of context, but also makes you tear up when you look at the spendings graph, as it also includes other projects like the Snowy Hydro 2.0, which is also great. Well, you may look at the 8.71 billion figure and say, but wait, that's a lot of money. Billions is a lot. But not when the initial investment was over 50 billion. Well, over many years, it still boggles the mind that such an infrastructure project is only worth 8.7 billion. The 8.7 billion is calculated as a fair value price. In the report they write, fair value is defined in Australian accounting standards as the price that would be received from a sale of an asset or the price paid to transfer a liability in an orderly transaction between market participants. So technically it could be worth a lot more. If it has liability, 30 billion of the 50 was spent by the government, and then the extra 20 was given in loans that are expected to be paid back, because that's what loans are. Which means right now NBN Co is in the deep red. In any case, this valuation doesn't help anyone. And I really hope there is no plan to sell the NBN to a private entity. With this government, however, it is kind of unlikely. One thing to note, the amounts shown here are not necessarily the final figures. What a twist, right? Well, because the project is not finished, it means that only once it is fully deployed, the true value will be known, and that's in a couple of months, so it's close, but maybe there could be some change. Finally, our last topic today. NBN Co wireless RSPs have given their wireless customers relief packages. You see, wireless plans are particularly expensive and do not come with much data. It is their Achilles heel after all. Unlike wired services where most plans have ridiculous amounts and are usually just unlimited, wireless services cost substantially more per megabyte to run. Wireless RSPs will provide its customers with relief data blocks, with approval and help from NBN Co. SkyMesh is providing 10 gigabytes every Monday for the next 3 months, and Activate Me will give 10 gigabytes of extra data a week for free also. Both are starting on Monday the 23rd of March. Now, SkyMesh also says they will upgrade their networks by 40%. While not giving specifics, I would love to know how you do that with the press of a button. You may also have noticed that some of the smaller mobile providers are giving free data to people. A few extra gigs here and there should help, especially those working from home that might not have access to the NBN or their 4G connection is just faster. Let me know below what your provider has done for you in this crisis. So friends, thank you very much for watching today's episode. A little bit shorter, a little bit sharper, a little bit quicker. If you like this video, then tap that like button. If you would like to see more, please consider subscribing. I would really appreciate it and it really helps this channel continue. Thanks again, and I'll catch you guys in another one. Bye!